Do you really think we're going to do a review on Corona, especially now? That's more like it. Welcome to Everyday Whiskey.
Hi guys, welcome back to Everyday Whiskey. I'm Mike.
And I'm Dan.
And today we're doing a Cinco De Mayo special. So we're going to be doing kind of a crossover episode. I have a tequila that is aged in bourbon barrels, to stick with the bourbon theme of our channel.
I want to say which barrels is kind of an important part of it.
It is a very important part, actually. It is George Stagg. Oh, yeah, good luck reading that.
Yeah, it's going to get washed out. George T. Stagg.
George T. Stagg
So
barrels.
everybody knows Pappy Van Winkle or the Pappy Antique Collection.
Yeah.
You're going to, probably get pretty excited.
And what do you have for us?
All right, so we got one made by Dewar's. It's their new... This is going to get whitewashed again, too.
Yeah.
Just white labels are a poor choice for this freaking lighting. So Dewar's newest product that just came out this year. It's Dewar's Illegal Smooth. It's aged 8 years and then finished in Illegal Mezcal barrel. So definitely cool, different twist. I like the innovation that Dewar's is starting to come up with. Whoever their master blender distiller, I think they go in the right direction. And then we figured we might as well do a just a regular tequila, obviously. So we went with something that's very affordable, very easy and acceptable. Very easy and accessible. And it's actually owned by Jose Cuervo, so that definitely helps. Luna Azul Blanco. Not barrel aged. I know we said brown goods, but it's tequila, so we got to do a silver tequila. And we already have a barrel aged tequila too, so figure that's where we're going to go with it.
All right, so I'll jump right in. Starting off with, well, actually, before I get to the bottle, I figured let me do some story time here.
Probably should tell them what tequila is, how it's made.
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys a little history on tequila,
whiskey,
all kinds of stuff. So, from the top, tequila terminology. I'm sure you browse the aisles, you see tequila, and then you kind of get caught off guard if you don't know what you're looking for. You notice one bottle says Plato, one says Repo, one says Anejo. So what are those? Really easy to understand. Plato tequila is a silver tequila like the Luna Azul that we have, no age. That means they distill it and it's done. It goes right into the barrel, or right into bottling. There's no aging process.
Oh god, I fucking hate Corona.
Reposado is a little bit different. So reposado just means rested. So that means it's usually rested in a white oak barrel anywhere from 2 months to 11 months. And the reason I say that is because
11 months, almost a
2
year.
to 11.
Okay.
The reason I say 11 is because once you hit the 12-month mark, then it becomes an anejo. An anejo is basically 1 year.
More money, more problems.
Yes, and more money. It's 1 year. That's all an anejo is, 1 year age. So, a little history on it. It's made primarily in the area surrounding the city of Tequila in Mexico and also the Jaliscan Highlands.
It's kind of like Champagne, France. Like, it's only Champagne is from Champagne, France, and it's only tequila is from Tequila, Mexico.
Yep, Tequila or Jalisco.
I'm just clarifying, so,
Jalisco
some questions somebody might ask.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know much about tequila. I don't really drink tequila all that often, so.
So, predominantly made from blue agave. That is pretty much all you can really make tequila from.
It's what you should.
It's what you should.
So there is a certain company that uses 51% distiller grains and gives people bad hangovers.
Yeah, we won't mention them, even though we already did kind of in the very beginning of this. But anyway,
That's out of the bag.
Mexican law states tequila can only be made in Jalisco and limited municipalities in several other states of the country. So like Dan said, just like the champagne can only be made in the Champagne region. Not only made. Champagne can only be called champagne if it's made in the Champagne region of France. Other than that, it is just called sparkling wine.
Red leather, blue leather, red leather, blue
Yes.
leather. Probably should have did some vocal exercise before we started.
We probably should have, because I'm tripping up on all my words right now. Tequila can be between 35 to 55% alcohol, so that's 70 to 110 proof. But in order for you to get it in the United States, it must be at least 40%. So you cannot buy any of these lower alcohol tequilas.
So it's got to be just like whiskey in the U.S. It's got to be at least 80. It's got to be 80 proof to be called, X.
Yep, it's pretty much got to follow a similar.
I didn't know that. I thought tequila.
I didn't either.
I thought tequila it was like kind of like Canadian whiskey where there's no fucking rules.
No, it's got to be at least 40% in order to sell in the U.S. So that's a little bit of the technical side of tequila. Let's get into the history. The history on this is actually extremely extensive, really interesting, but I kind of summed it all.
I don't know we should really go into the depths of it, considering this episode should probably be less than 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just going to give you a real quick run through some interesting points I found. So, let's go. First made in the 16th century, Spanish conquistadors ran out of brandy.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
Spanish conquistadors ran out of brandy and distilled agave, and it became North America's first indigenous distilled spirit.
Okay, so
that I did not know either.
So it wasn't even made by the indigenous people of like South America. It was actually made by
Spanish conquistadors.
Yeah, okay, that's actually really cool.
I had no idea.
Oh, I like that though.
And I didn't know it was North America's first.
So they didn't even know it was gonna be good. They're just like, oh, this looks kind of cool, like because agave literally looks like a big pot plant. So they might have had other ideas in mind, honestly.
It's just nothing but actually this is exactly what it looks like right on the front of this bottle. Just all these little spiky things. That's all agave is, and it's really, really, really sweet.
And it looks like it's gonna kill you.
So to continue, Don Cenobio Souza. People may have heard of the name Souza. That's the tequila brand. He was the founder of Souza and Jesus, I need to do my vocal exercises. Founder of
red
Souza.
Red leather, blue leather. Red leather, blue leather.
The founder of Souza.
Take it seriously.
And municipal president of the village of Tequila, was the first person to export tequila to the United States. His grandson, Francis Javier, was recognized for his efforts, leading to tequila only being produced in Jalisco. So originally, when they very, very, very first started making this, it was nationwide in Mexico. You could produce it. This Don Cenobio Souza's grandson, Francis Javier, came along, and he's the one who kind of went along and said, okay, it can only be made in Jalisco. Let's turn the page.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 1974, the Mexican government declared the term tequila as intellectual property. So now it is Mexico's...
It's trademark, basically.
Basically it's
That's
trademark.
what that means. It's trademark.
Yep.
You can't call it anything else anywhere.
Nope, no one can, no one else can, they can't. Tequila.
Otherwise it's just grain spirit of some sort.
Yep.
Okay.
So this is where it gets a little confusing, the next point. I'm going to do my best to explain it very simply, though.
See how this goes. You barely
I know.
fucking talk today.
So in Mexico... and where they distill tequila, there's over 100 distilleries. Those 100 distilleries are responsible for making over 900 brands.
How big is the area? Does it say that? How big is tequila? Since there's 100 distilleries.
40. I think tequila itself. Oh wait, no. The area it gave me was how far away from.
I'm just saying that's a good frame of reference to know like how dense it is.
I did not research that.
We'll put it in the comments. We'll put it in the comments. We'll research after we're done.
I want to say 40 miles, but it's 40 miles from Guadalajara, which has nothing to do with the area. That's just where it's from, because Guadalajara is a really popular place. Oh, man. So like I said, 100 distilleries, makes over 900 brands.
Okay.
And over 2,000 brand names have been registered. So, yeah. Do the math. 100 distilleries make 900 brands, and then over 2,000 brand names have been registered. Each tequila has a serial number, an NOM, which stands for Norma Oficial Mexicana.
Dude,
I know there's a lot of stuff.
Get subtitles in this episode.
We're gonna have to. That serial number indicates which distillery it's from. On the bot, you're not really gonna be able to see it because of the white label. Maybe we'll put a photo up on Instagram, but on the very bottom of this label, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. It has an NOM and then 1103. So basically, that's just an identity for the Mexican government. They could, or actually for the consumer too. If you want to research that, that will tell you what distillery it came from. With that gives us the history. So let me get back now into the bottle in particular. Don't worry, you're gonna get your turn soon.
I don't care. I'm sitting and watching. It was actually kind of cool. I didn't know a lot of this stuff, so I'm enjoying it.
So the tequila I brought on today, I bought this in 2017, and actually I bought it in 2018.
You bought it, yeah.
It was bottled in 2017. It's Tequila Corazon, so heart in American or English, but it's another subderivative of that. So this is technically Expresiones de Corazon, expressions of the heart. So it's same base tequila, but this is kind of like...
It's a barrel finish series.
Yeah, it's basically like the antique collection of tequilas, if you will.
Yeah, you got it.
So, 4 expressions, meaning 4 of these tequilas, were created by 3 men. The expressions are the George T. Stagg, which I have. There's one that's made with Old Rip Van Winkle barrels. There's another made with Buffalo Trace barrels. And there's another made with Sazerac Rye barrels. I was only able to source the T. Stagg.
This is the only one I've ever seen. The old Rip is probably like so rare that you can't touch it.
I mean, as you know, it's hard enough to find Stagg and Rip Van Winkle bourbon. I wouldn't even be able to...
22 months in a barrel?
Yeah, I wouldn't even be able to
so
find
you're like borderlining, you're borderlining extra añejo with this.
Yeah, you're getting close.
Yeah.
So the three men who thought of this project, there's a tequila expert named David Grafsey. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that.
I'm just gonna do this.
I don't know if you're going to be watching this, but maybe you will be.
None of the bottles displayed.
So there's David Grafsey, who is the tequila expert. Then the master distiller of this tequila, Miguel Cedeno Cruz. And then the master distiller, Harlan Wheatley, who's...
he's the master distiller of Buffalo Trace. So, if you ever heard of Wheatley vodka, there you go.
So basically, David's role in this, being the tequila expert, was just actually getting Miguel and Harlan to collab together on this production, which is really cool. Okay. So, like I said, or like Dan mentioned, it's an añejo. It's aged 22 months in the Stagg barrels. So, Dan is right, you're borderline pushing an extra añejo at that point.
Which then that becomes a whole new price point that is astronomical.
Yeah, I mean, this is already astronomical just because it's made with Stagg barrels, but...
Yeah, which actually puts it at the extra añejo price point already, without being that, which is actually kind of cool, and I think it probably tastes a little better just based on the barrel that it's used.
The juice itself is sourced from Los Altos Agave, which is
an industry term. You said juice.
I did say juice. Is sourced from Los Altos Agave, which is grown 6,000 feet above sea level in Jalisco. So again, sticking to it's made in Jalisco because it has to be tequila. 40% alcohol, 80 proof. It's pretty standard. And again, the NOM number or the serial number is 1103. If I were to look that up, I could find the exact distillery in Mexico that this was produced. And I went a little bit further for you guys because we are a bourbon channel.
How many pages of notes do you have?
This is the last one.
Jesus Christ.
I decided to do a little brief stint on the George T.
I'm going to have to fast forward this in the edit.
Oh, we'll be good.
And I'll just stop it at key points.
All right, I'll rapid fire this one.
All right, just rapid fire.
Ready? Here we go. George T. Stagg, produced in limited quantities by Buffalo Trace. It's part of the antique collection. It's high proof, uncut, unfiltered. Uncut basically means just barrel strength, barrel proof. They don't distill it with any water.
All of the antique collection is an unfiltered expression.
All of them. Yeah, they're all unfiltered, uncut. Aged for about 15 years. I'm guessing, it's probably not exactly 15, but it's about 15 years.
The whole antique collection is anywhere between 8 and 15 years. It doesn't go any more than 15.
It's distributed once per year in the fall. However, as of 2005, a second spring release was added to the distribution process.
Which does not come to New Jersey.
Nope, it doesn't, unfortunately. It's 70.7%, which is 141 proof, so it's going to pack a punch.
They got rid of the
Stagg is powerful.
They got rid of the 141 for 2019. It is now 116 proof.
Yep. And for those who don't know what the antique collection is, the antique collection is from Buffalo Trace. It's a cross-section of whiskey released each year by Buffalo Trace. These whiskeys span from a wide range of ages, proofs, and styles. They're revered as one of the absolute best and not most sought after. They are the most sought after bourbon and whiskey.
Like, they're not I own a bottle. I own 2 bottles. I've owned 2 or 3 bottles.
You own 2 or 3.
I'm not saying they are the
1 or 2.
They are not the best whiskeys. They are just the hardest whiskeys to get.
Hands down, the most sought after.
And the reason, actually, the whole basis of this channel is kind of going against that thought.
Yeah.
Is we try to find whiskeys that are great daily drinkers that you can always get.
To put that into perspective of how hard it is to find for you, anyone who knows their alcohol has probably heard of Louis XIII. It's a brandy or a cognac.
You can get that way easier than that.
Yeah, it's ridiculously expensive. It's in the thousands. Yeah, and I have seen that bottle in stores more frequently than I've seen any of I'm not pointing to that, any of the antique collection of Buffalo Trace. That's how hard that stuff is to come by. It's relatively consistent, but each year they do have subtle, unique nuances that change.
Well, it's like they're all technically like single barrels and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so it's like
they're really strict standards.
Yeah, it depends on the weather. It depends on who is doing the blending. It depends on where the barrel is. There's a lot of variables, so they do change a little bit.
And finally, the last point, which really separates the antique collection from anything else I've ever bought, is that every bottle that you buy, I'm not going to say every bottle you buy because this is up to the stores to actually release this part of it. But I will say every case, it comes with a fact sheet, and that fact sheet will include the
it.
year of distill, the recipe, the distillation details, the storage location, for whatever reason you need to know that.
Oh, I just said that with the story. I told you,
Yeah.
it changes the flavor. Whether what level, like low, top, middle, sunny side, dark side. Dead center is like a sweet spot, supposedly.
Yeah.
But I've heard of Pappy's coming from top left, top right.
This is also information like the hardcore bourbon enthusiast would.
You can
would
find this. Go on Buffalo Trace's
interesting.
website. You can find all this information. They actually do list this. If you were really that much, if you're as nerdy as we are about it, they'll list everything you want to know about your bottle.
So that's really cool because you'll get bottles in the back will have some like history on it, but they give a sheet with anything and everything you need to know about that.
You actually know who
batch.
picked it. Like you know who picked the barrel. There's a name of a guy who picks the barrel.
So that's it for me. I'm done. Thank you. Your turn.
Do you really think we were just going to do a whole episode just on information? If you follow our Instagram, you know we were actually doing another happy hour special with Stone Cold Steve Austin, not sponsored by Stone Cold Steve Austin, Margarita Challenge. Basically, we are going to make margaritas with the Luna Azul Blanco. We're going to make a Scotch margarita. The Scotch that's aged in mezcal barrels. That's the whole point of it. Otherwise, why the hell would you do that? And then we're going to make a margarita
with my ridiculously
expensive bottle, just like every episode. They're going to use a bottle that has no business being used in a cocktail, and we're going to use it in a cocktail. So, let's start this dumb goddamn challenge. Yes, I bought 2 large Corona bottles. Holy shit!
And it's exploding. Alright. Well,
that was not planned at all. Alright, so first one, the only label that won't wash out.
Yeah.
We got Luna Azul Blanco here. So basically, I'm just gonna go through the recipe now. That way I don't have to like explain it while I'm making. I'm gonna make the Corazon cocktails on camera because I don't think anyone's gonna believe any of us that we're dumb enough to do this.
But we are.
Yeah. So
As
basically,
always.
Stone Cold Steve Austin margaritas have 2 ounces of tequila or 2 ounces of spirit in them. If we're going with this, just because we have a Scotch and we have 2 tequilas.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, I actually do something that they don't do in their recipe. So I do 2 ounces of orange juice. I do a 1 ounce of lime juice, 1 ounce of agave nectar, which we've actually used on previous episodes with the whiskey sour. I use 2 ounces of spirit, so tequila and or Scotch in this situation. You shake it up in a shaker, and then dump over ice. And it should actually fill to the brim on a shaker. And then you top it off with Grand Marnier. Not sponsored. All right. Not sponsored by any bottle we're using tonight. That way we don't get any copyright issues.
No.
So, we're going to do what we did before. We're going to rate these from 1 to 5. We can use decimal points. We're going to see which one's best. We used a silver tequila to start as a base because that's what you should be using in your margaritas. Mm-hmm. If not, whatever. So, cheers, buddy. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Drinko.
My tacos are late. Oh, that's tasty.
Very smooth. I mean, it's just a simple margarita.
Yeah, there's really nothing crazy to it. My hand's
So
so sticky.
We kind of like to make our margaritas a little simple. As you can tell, they're not a slushy
it's not
like most
I don't use a blender.
margaritas.
I don't like the ice chunks in it.
I don't either.
I like it more like a cocktail.
I do too. I'm a big fan of just, some margarita mix, or if you're doing it all natural, just putting it all together in a glass, drinking it. I can't be bothered to waste time blending ice, crushing it.
I got a floaty in here of some unknown object.
Oh, I think it's in... I don't know what it is.
They're black, though.
It's protein.
I don't need more protein. This sucks.
Wow. This is really good.
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Oh, and he's loading it.
Not sponsored by Corona.
Or the virus.
Or the virus. Alright. So, notebook. We're going to do the scoring thing again, right?
Yeah. This is actually really good.
Right? You like that margarita, right?
This one's
That's got orange juice in it. Alright, so you can use triple sec in place of the orange juice. I just like using orange juice because you're using 2 ounces of spirit, which is 2 shots. 2 shots at a bar.
2 shots per
That's
glass.
$18 on average at a bar you're spending.
And
Just on the spirit in there, not the cocktail. So that's going to be like a $30 cocktail.
And if you remember from my whiskey sour episode, unless you're using an actual jigger, you're probably using a shot glass to measure. And a shot glass can be an ounce, sometimes a little bit bigger. So
it's
it
like an
might
ounce
even
and a
be
half.
like,
So-
it could be almost 3 ounces. And that's still a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot of liquor, but that's a lot of liquor.
I'm using these jiggers here. These are all 1 ounce jiggers from Stola Kanaya.
Yeah.
vodka that I actually got from the vodka store.
Yeah, the vodka
Store.
from
All right, so I really like this.
I do too.
I
Are we
just
going out
saw-
of 5 again?
Yeah, we're going out of 5. 'Cause I don't
Okay.
want to do 10. That's too hard.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start. I really fucking like this one. I'm gonna go
I
with
do
a
too.
4-2.
Wow.
I'm going 4-2. I have high hopes for the Scotch one. I haven't had the Scotch one yet. I don't want to throw up on camera, but it could happen.
I may go up there, but I'm gonna go with a 3.9.
Okay, so rough math here.
Yeah, have fun with that.
7.9, 8.1.
I'm the accounting major, but I don't even know how to do that.
All right, so 8.1 on Luna Azul Blanco. All right, so the deal with Luna Azul, I'm gonna do a quick little bottle synopsis here for you. So Luna
We've
Azul,
been educated immensely
Extensively,
in this product
'cause in New Jersey it's a
because
big
of
product.
Our
Yeah.
reps when we were at the stores.
So, in New Jersey, I'm just saying this price point in New Jersey. If you have a contradicting price point, you can comment it. I don't really care. It's going to be anywhere between $19.99 on your shelf and $26.99 on your shelf. So either way, it's a really good value brand and it's a really good tasting. If you want to, like, all my roommates here would attest to, it's the house tequila at this
it's
point.
phenomenal.
So basically, there are two Cuervo brothers. One took the brand name, which you know, which you might hate, not hate, have bad memories, have nightmares, night terrors from. I might be the latter on that one. And then the other brother took the actual agave fields. Smart
Yeah.
brother.
The smart guy, yeah.
So, we mentioned there was a brand that was 51% distiller grains. We are still not saying which brand that is. I'm not going to say it. But you, if you are an intelligent individual, you could probably figure out where we're going with this. The other brother used 100% blue agave to make a product that is comparable to Jose Cuervo. That is Luna Azul. So it is a very smooth, it's very approachable, it's very straightforward, and it's a good representation of what silver tequila should taste like. And the fact that their añejo is only within like a 2% increase of the Blanco, which is unheard of. And they have so many expressions, they have smoke, they have different cast finish. It's a really good brand. If you see it on someone's shelves, I would highly recommend you buy it. I'm not saying this because we were doing a video or we're sponsored.
It's phenomenal.
For God's
stuff.
sake, we are not sponsored.
And you know what? I'll add a second one into there. Look, if you're in the New York, if you're in the New York, New Jersey region, we have a very special distributor too. They're a little bit on a smaller scale.
I don't know if I'd list the distributor.
But
I wouldn't list the distributor.
I'm not gonna list it. I'm not naming names.
Okay.
But they have a product that is also in the same price range, about $20 a bottle. It's called Azteca Azul Tequila.
I actually like this one a little better, but that one's really good.
It's another one where it catches you off guard. It's absolutely phenomenal. I'm just gonna put this.
We're swapping you out for a Scotch here.
So-
Okay, this is the one that, like, not that we advertise this online or anything, or on Facebook or Instagram. We just said we were doing Happy Hour Part 3. So, you saw in the earlier section of this video, we have Dewar's. It's gonna whitewash. Why am I doing this? So, Dewar's Illegal Smooth. Illegal Smooth. That was the whole point of this stupid name.
Yep.
The name's not stupid. It's okay. But the Scotch is very good by itself. If you're a Scotch person, you still have enough smokiness that it appeals to your Scotch drinker, and the actual mezcal barrels. It's aged in mezcal barrels right here. It's illegal mezcal barrels, which are 100% natural mezcal distillery. They are in the Oaxaca region of Mexico, and it is used in new and old American oak that has been charred. So, very outstanding company, very high-end mezcal. Mezcal in general it's hard to find one for under $50 a bottle.
Yeah, mezcal is usually pretty expensive. It also like Scotch. It requires a very particular palate. It's extremely smoky.
I think Scotch drinkers branch into mezcal if you are a Scotch drinker who does like tequila.
Because it resembles peat, like in Scotch.
But the mezcal finish, it's a finish. So you're not aging it. So the regular Dewar's is just aged 8 years in American oak because it has to be, and then it's finished for X amount of time in the mezcal barrels. I don't know the time. If you know the time, comment on it. But it's finished in mezcal barrels, which the actual like slight agave note balances out the smokiness. So people who don't like a smoky Scotch, it actually appeals to them too. So I think they did a really good job with this Scotch.
It is. It's phenomenal.
So and it's actually the only screw-off bottle in my collection. It's gonna go between 20 and 25 on your shelf.
Okay.
So
that's not bad.
first Scotch margarita I have ever had.
Scotcheritas. Here we go.
What fuck is going on in this glass?
That is interesting. You know, you definitely get the mezcal.
You get that little carrot, like you get that almost like little bacon or like
that
like
char,
carrot,
just
char.
That
You get that in the back.
charry-
That's good.
It is really good.
That's good.
So this almost tastes like if you were to make a really strong margarita, but also a really strong margarita with maybe a reposado or an anejo instead of a plata, which is, as we've said, is not aged at all.
It's a steel drum, it's
So-
silver, plata silver, blanco plata silver.
Yeah, you do get that.
You get the
You
Scotch
get the
note. You
oak
get the
and
the peat note, right?
Yeah, the oak, the peat.
So
I don't. There's a lot going on.
It's like alright. The worst part is the peat note comes out in this damn margarita more than it did when I put it on the rocks.
Really?
No, because you smell you smell
Yeah.
agave. It's definitely not bad.
Yeah, this is phenomenal. This appears to my profile.
Appears,
a lot.
appeals.
Appeal. Yeah, I don't know.
It could appear to your
It's
profile.
hard. Listen, we've been
I
locked
would
down
swipe
for 8
right on
weeks.
Tinder on this all day long.
I know. The lockdown's just getting to me. I can't do anything anymore. I'm exhausted. But no,
Yeah.
this appeals to my palate a lot more because we all know I like that intense oak profile or
Oak
that
and smoke. Alright.
But it's delicious. I really
Alright.
like this.
I don't know if I'm liking it as much as the traditional.
It just adds a whole new element to the margarita. A whole new element.
Yeah, it's just a smoky.
good
It's
element.
a smoky. It's like you put a fucking margarita in like an atomizer. Like you smoked it out. I am not going as high on the first one though. I'm gonna go with 3.8.
I'm gonna do a 4-1.
Ooh, you liked it better. Oh,
I
you
did
like
like
smoky
it
shit.
better.
So yeah, so that's gonna be an. Well, that's gonna be a. 4.7. That's gonna be an 8.0.
Oh wow! So these are really close.
All right, so far. All right, and then we got we gotta do. I gotta get glasses and rock and ice
Oh yeah.
for the unfortunate one.
So, let's talk a little bit about mezcal for people who may not know what that is. In layman's terms, a mezcal is simply a tequila that is just not made in Jalisco, the Jalisco region of Mexico. It would just be made elsewhere because it essentially is the exact same product. It's made from blue agave, it's made in a similar fashion. The biggest difference is, though, the charring of the agave and the smokiness that comes out in the process of how it's made. It's not nearly, for lack of a better term, as clean finished as a tequila is because, again, it's like the Scotch of Mexico. You get all that smoke from the distillation process and the process of making the tequila, and you get the char from the barrels in there. It's definitely a heavy hitter, and it's not for everybody. If you want to try mezcal, expect to spend some money trying to get into it. As Dan mentioned, it's probably your cheapest is going to be in that $40 to $50 price range. So I know that's a lot of money to spend on something that you don't know much
I'm
about.
back.
But it's good. I highly recommend it. It's worth a shot if you could find it in maybe like a shooter or airplane bottle size somewhere.
Give it a shot.
It might be, you
What
might
are we
think
talking
the
about? I'm just gonna
price
give it a
is-
shot. What are we talking about?
I'm just telling them a little bit about mezcal and how it is tequila but not really,
Oh.
and some
The,
interesting facts about it.
The illegal.
Mm-hmm.
I messed up the pronunciation of where it's from. Owaka, not Oaxaca, or whatever I said.
Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
Owaka.
It's
That's
Owaka.
right.
Owaka.
The X is silent.
Yeah, I butchered that pretty horribly.
That's okay. We corrected it.
All right, so
Yeah, I was just giving them a little history on. Well, not history, just a little information on mezcal. It's unique. It's worth a try. It's at least worth a try.
yeah, I think that's the best way to say it is like worth a try because
Yeah.
I am not entirely sold on it for me for my
Mhm.
personal taste buds, but that doesn't matter.
I will say, a straight mezcal in a salt-rimmed margarita
You wouldn't know
is
the difference.
really good. The
You wouldn't know the
salt,
difference. It would just taste better.
yeah, the salt and the smoke combine to make this really savory flavor profile that actually intrigues me. And again, it really it kind of sits on your taste buds and really wakens them up. It's interesting. But again, it's not for everyone. So if you can find it in like an airplane bottle somewhere, it might be expensive for an airplane bottle. Like it might be, I don't know, maybe $8 to $10, maybe $5 to $10.
I'd say
really
$8
know.
is probably pretty safe. It all depends on where you're at. That's the end of the day. That's
Yeah, it
like,
really depends on your geography.
Like location is really a key thing here. That's why price point's really hard to explain. But if anybody in New Jersey is watching, it's kind of an important thing too.
It's certainly worth a try though, and it's it's better to spend $8 than $50 and then be stuck with an entire bottle of something you don't know what to do with, because chances are it's going to take a lot of parties for you to get rid of that, because not a lot of people are going to be that into it. So give it a shot. I highly recommend it, especially if you're a Scotch drinker and like me, you like those Isla Scotches, which are extremely peaty, like the Limeable and 16. You'll definitely like mezcal.
I see where you're going with this shit.
I'm just trying to keep this tied into whiskey since we are a whiskey
Yeah,
channel.
I know.
But it is Cinco de Mayo, so...
Do you want to do me a favor, though? Do you want to grab the... Here's the barrel.
Oh, the barrel.
Do you want to dump all of the... Careful of the base. Do you want to dump the bottles into that? Do that
Oh, yeah.
whole horrible nightmare of a bottle we're going to have at the end of the season.
Oh,
all
man,
right.
I didn't know we were going to do this, but this is going to be really interesting.
You said in the one episode we're going to put everything in it.
I did say everything's going in it. This is everything. Let's see.
Tell I'm not a bartender. Ever had been a bartender.
No, but...
Let's see. All right, you ready? Let's see how good the pour is here.
Ooh, that's actually fancy. Wow, you would definitely enjoyed this bottle.
That one? That's all everyone else.
Is there anything left? Oh, there it is. It's gone.
I didn't drink tequila since the night.
How much should I put in?
Just like a shot's worth. Alright, top of Grand Marnier, top of Grand Marnier. Alright, man.
Oh god, spillage.
This is gonna be a long episode. We got 15 on this guy, we got something else on the other guys, you know.
It is.
Keep the attentions of the peoples.
I know.
You got a problem?
Oh, Jesus. My hands are so
That
sticky.
did not go as planned.
No, actually, this is like an easy neck to pour out of.
It not as easy as I thought. Oh, why is this sticky?
The agave nectar.
Oh.
Did you not realize that was sticky? That's actually pretty solid.
Is it?
Well, no, that's not.
Oh,
that's
that
the
is-
pour.
that's
That's
a
not
good
bad at
one.
all.
No, not. Do we have any paper towels?
No, we're gonna have to deal with it. For
Okay.
now.
So we're just gonna deal.
Just put the cork back in. We'll put it back up.
Just
Just to
no,
preview
we're gonna
that-
have to wipe that down first.
I did not wipe it down last week.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Ooh.
Put that down there. I have a fuzz. All right.
Alright.
So now it's time for the expensive cocktail.
Alright. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is gonna suck. No, it's not gonna suck like bad, but it's like, you know, it's just stinks we just did this with that bottle.
It sucks more that I spilled it all over the. Oh my god.
Holy crap, that's delicious.
Wow.
What?
I feel like I could taste the agave, like the actual
You
agave.
can taste the agave through everything. Like, that's good. This is just like the first episode of Happy Hour, where like the really expensive bottle did the thing he didn't want it to do. Like,
You stop doing the things we don't want you to do.
Like, it's supposed to be the $25 bottle we started with, the actual tequila.
Oh my god. This is dangerous.
These are very good. But there are, we have been getting asked for Scotch tequilas out in the crowd out there. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so
We are not serving that to any of the guests. That is one
no.
expensive friggin' bottle.
They want the doers, just out of curiosity, I feel like.
Unfortunately, that is not going away. Like I said, I
Oh,
got
yours.
this in 28, so like 2 years ago, and
Alright.
with the exception of the spillage, because that was shitty on my pour. That's how much is missing out of that bottle. I kind of baby that thing and really only have it special occasion.
I'm going 4-4.
You can put me down for like a 4.7. That's phenomenal. I want to look up the
So-
price of this bottle for you guys. I should have done that
We're
earlier,
going 9.1.
but I didn't.
Alright, guys, we learned absolutely nothing from this episode, and the most expensive
Yeah.
bottle that wasn't supposed to do anything actually won. So, Corazon, you are the best tasting margarita.
Let's see if I can get the price in this bottle for you.
Son of a bitch.
Oh, it's really not that bad. It's only like an $80 bottle.
It's only an $8
That's
bottle.
true.
Like, who? No. Who does that with an
Okay.
$8 bottle?
Well, yeah, that's still true. But it's not nearly as expensive as if you were
What was
to
the
buy
saying I
the
was
George
saying? It's
T.
like
Stagg
taking a
alone.
shotgun to the face for a headache? Like, it's...
Yeah. It's just not. I'm just saying it's not as expensive as like if you're looking for the Stagg itself, where we're going right up to like $200 to $300.
Yeah.
I do remember paying about $8 for it.
Yeah, I know what you paid
Yeah.
for it. Remember you told me, you texted me.
Yeah.
It makes a really good
It was
margarita.
phenomenal. I mean, there's just regular old tequilas out there that get up there in price.
I think we
like
just
the,
pissed
Clase
off
Azules.
every higher up at Sazerac by doing this.
Probably, but not bad.
New Jersey State Sazerac rep, you're watching this.
This is phenomenal, man.
This is really
is
good.
like,
But I think we should probably end the episode on a high note.
yes.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Everybody,
Happy
as-
Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, as we say at the end of every wow, red leather, blue leather, red leather, blue leather. Please comment, please share, please like our video, spread the word. We are just two idiots trying to find the perfect whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have a great week.